Art. What's up, Kobe? Right? See? Shaolin. Moon. Moon. Moon King. Moon King. I don't know if this is actually working. I've been trying to get StreamYard because I guess I'm a streamer now. The easiest is just to stream directly onto X. Otherwise, it's really hard. And I like to see if I could stream onto YouTube and X at the same time. It's hard to know if it is working. I should be able to check. StreamYard, how do I check? Remove me from the stage. Recording. Recording in progress. Banners. Comments. Share my referral link. I don't think I'm going to do that. I just have a feeling I'm not streaming on X, which is what I want, because on YouTube, it's really to create. I'm pretty sure this is going to YouTube, so I'll just do it. So the Eros plan is a plan to LP TitanX and build on TitanX assets, which are on Ethereum, bridging them over and pairing with them in LP, providing liquidity. Eros is a liquidity web. The Eros plan is to bridge and integrate TitanX. All 40-ish TitanX assets are on Pulsechain now, bridged over. And now the challenge and the opportunity is to have some deep TitanX TitanX-based pools, TitanX with Pulse, DragonX with Pulse, TitanX with other key assets, maybe even PTGC would be interesting. DragonX PTGC might be an interesting pool. Seems there's sort of overlap of interest between PTGC and DragonX. You see how we can, the Eros plan is a unifying plan that says, okay, we have all these assets. Which ones do we want to put together in deep, healthy liquidity pools? I personally like the DragonX and PLS pool. I also like TitanX and PLS. I'm in those pools, but they're very light. Eros pools, which might be pointing to the real potential for Eros pools, is with Pulsechain. And Eros could be the tip of the sword for TitanX protocols and might be the draw, might be the demand equation that people need on Pulsechain need to embrace TitanX and build on TitanX protocols. Maybe, that's true, that maybe Eros in pairs with deep TitanX and build on TitanX pairs becomes accessible to Pulsechain buyers with PLS, with PLSX, with Bear, with PTGC, not PTGC. There is no pool now. With PDI. So Eros plan is first migrate value and set up the web, which we've just started. And I believe we are at an inflection point in the market. It's been a really rough, you know, um, news day. If I don't pay attention to the news, I just intuit stuff. I'm in tune. So I know it's been, I don't watch the news, but I know it's been a rough news day for a lot of people. It's part of the reason why I'm talking about the leadership crisis, right? Because of, we won't name that, right? And so, like, that's why normal people, regular people have to step up. That's why I'm stepping up. I'm just sharing, I'm educating what I know. So the next period of time, what I think is going to be, we are hitting bottoms, another mental psychic bottom before we do the exponential run that feels inevitable to me with capital flow in. Eventually, Ethereum will take off, in my humble opinion, and altcoins. Some will front run Ethereum, some will follow Ethereum. We'll see. So, yeah, the Eros plan is about build on TitanX assets and holders looking for a new home in a new marketplace, which is me, right? I've bridged over Lotus and Eden and TitanX and DragonX, and we have put them in LP pairs, right? The LP web mirrors the TitanX pairing ethos, and we're in the process of building out the infrastructure and filling up the pools. And Eros, I did a stream earlier. I'm going to start to do some shorts to do some basic education on the contract, the holder group, and the principles that I are imprinting there, right? And I'm really looking forward. So one thing in the Eros plan, part of the reason why I like it is it got delivered first, the gift of Eros from the Eros team. First of all, the Eros team got the TitanX back. Anyone who knows knows. Thank you, Eros team. I don't have any bad blood. There's none. Thank you for getting my TitanX back. That was a while ago, probably a year ago. And also thank you for the contract, the PTGC clone. It's Burn Baby Burn contract, ends in CF62. Just do your research, seriously. Look at the contract, look at the user group, see who owns coins, right? And know that it's a revoked verified contract on the blockchain. It's been operating, burning for almost a year. I think it's another 6 days or 7 days, it'll be a year that it's been on the blockchain, verified, revoked, operating, burning, right? So, yeah, Eros plan. And what I like about it is there's a bull run plan, as if we're front running the Pulsechain, the Ethereum, the TitanX bull run. Because what I know is there's a lot of capital that founders and builders are ready to inject. On the Pulsechain side, there's going to be founder builder injection of capital somehow. Human capital, financial capital, decentralized capital is going to flow into Pulsechain. Same thing with TitanX. People are saying TitanX is dead. No, it's not. It's right now, it's near its bottom. It's a newbie coin, meaning it's young. It's a nubile, right? TitanX is fresh, and it had huge expansion and huge contraction and inflation and deflation, and it's going to survive for sure. And it's had huge utility. So for me, for this bull run, I'm positioned heavily, on chain. My assets are in the Build on TitanX ecosystem. Most of it is in Ouroboros. either vesting Ouroboros, which means I put in TitanX and I'm vesting, or I put in USDX in the backstop pool and I'm vesting ORX. Vesting ORX for me is my long-term play. I also surprisingly like Eros and the Eros plan as a long-term play. Yep, I do. And I'll tell you why after I tell you why Ouroboros. Ouroboros is, for me, it's like a dream come true of a decentralized finance protocol. I was laughing that it feels to me like cosmic banking on the blockchain. So shout out to Super Shadowy Dev. Shout out to the ORX community, the USDX community. What's up, Chiz? Rich Landon. I'm live, man. I don't know if I'm live on X. Rich Landon, that's a good man and a LP TitanX web builder. Talk to Rich if you want to understand what to bridge and how to bridge and where to put TitanX asset in the Eros web. I lost my train of thought. Ouroboros. I just sent that. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, Rich Landon. We're gonna talk. Let's see. What was I saying? It's the end of my day, man. I had a long day. I'm gonna keep on having a long day. My son is coming home. I have to walk the dogs. Oh man, drink some more water, salt, nutritional salt, lemon. Give thanks for the water, the salt, the lemon. I still have my cafe con leche from earlier, right? This is like a full day. This is one of my, I have a bunch of offices. This is one of my outdoor offices. I like it because I can set up carvings. I can go back and forth between phone calls and, this kind of thing and carving. I like that. And my dogs get to chill out around me. Right, Kobe? Yeah. So Ouroboros for me is like a dream come true. Last run I was on Terra Luna before it went to zero, and I really loved using Anchor Protocol. Anchor Protocol was a borrowing and lending protocol built on Terra Luna blockchain, and Luna was the collateral asset. Right? Just like on Ouroboros, it's either TitanX or DragonX as the prototypical collateral assets. Ouroboros is about to onboard. I don't know when, and I don't know any details, but I do know it's inevitable, right? Ouroboros is about to onboard new collateral assets. That's amazing. That means more ORX lovers, right? And more people to use true DeFi banking on the blockchain services. You don't have to use the borrowing and lending protocol on Ouroboros if you don't want to. You can just have stable coins and farm ORX tokens. That's like, for newcomers, like when they ask me, what do I do? I'm like, farm ORX, because you can have it's the least risky, in my opinion, thing to do in crypto today is get USDX stablecoin with USDC. So it's stable. USDC isn't going anywhere. USDX is proven itself right now, right? In a variety of different ways. And so USDX is stable, and you can get, if you want to get into USDC, and you can get that into centralized exchange and trade there. See, USDX staked in the backstop pool on Ouroboros protocol, farming ORX, and you're farming what we call vesting ORX, right? And ORX fully vests in 365 days a year. And so it incentivizes patience, right? After some point, I think 28 days, you can early claim it. But I like vesting ORX because it just feels like a gift to me to like keep on receiving this, what I think is going to be a very scarce and valuable fee sharing asset, fee sharing token, the ORX token itself, the asset is fee sharing in that, and it's going to keep on increasing in its scarcity and its value because there's going to be a lot more burning of it over time. And because there's going to be a lot of ways to deploy it, to stake it, unlock it, and generate yield. And so some of it will be what I call real yield, which is from fees, platform fees. So it's a fee sharing protocol. I love that. I love when the dev and the team find a way to make it fee sharing, because I do think that's how true DeFi is. Instead of centralized exchanges and even all the project leaders getting the fees, finding ways to share fees, I think is a valuable thought experiment, right? Which is another reason why I like PTGC and Eros and any one of these fee sharing protocols. So Ouroboros is fee sharing, maybe, I don't know, potentially, it's very early, but potentially maybe blowing all of them away, because I just think that the concept that the dev Super Shadowy has is amazing, and it's never been done before. How they, meaning it's Shadowy and her, their, like, what do we call them? Yeah, the AI bot team helping Shadowy, right? This platform, the Ouroboros protocol platform, is really scalable, how I see it. And there are going to be new products launched and new deployments launched, new blockchains, all tying back to the mothership, ORX, built on TitanX. That's why even the ORX community, I understand the hurt that people feel like being paired with TitanX. Well, but for TitanX, this is the lawyer in me, it's called the but for clause. But for TitanX, ORX wouldn't exist. Shadowy would find another place to do it, but I probably wouldn't have found it. I wouldn't have found it. Anybody currently, like I found it because associated with Jake and Zen and Pulsechain, like this sort of crew comes, and then Shadowy comes in and says, I want to incubate on TitanX. Now that was momentous. When I saw Ouroboros over last April, I think, Ouroboros showed up, I was like, this is it. I was like, I am so happy. And that's why I immediately engaged with Shadowy and have been in a dialogue. And for me, that's the most valuable dialogue to really get. And that's why I'm under a duty of confidentiality with that community and that DAO, right? There are confidential dialogues and votes that are so important. And so the tight knit, like if there's going to be human controls in DeFi, which sometimes are needed for a protocol like Ouroboros, which has huge scaling potential, and eventually, I mean, it has the fledgling governance in a really healthy way and a roadmap towards true on-chain governance, using best practices, including everything. And so it's on the path to a new paradigm, I believe, for like on-chain financial services, why it's starting to feel like cosmic banking on the blockchain, right? I like that, cosmic banking on the blockchain, because that's what it feels like to me. It feels like, just like shadowy and Ouroboros has been a gift, and I've carved it. I've carved it a lot, and I've got a lot of art about Ouroboros and the infinity thing. So shout out to Ouroboros and to Shadowy and to the uh, Ouroboros and USDX community, right? That's tight and strong and ready for exponential growth, no matter the other sort of the markets. It's very hard. Like, if we let go of price action, short-term price action, and we see that this is a fledgling blue chip, it's very early. And there are still ways to farm ORX, to buy ORX at the bottom. And I don't tell anyone to do anything. This is just for me. So when I bring my family and friends in, they say, well, what do I buy? I'm like, well, that's up to you. And they say, well, what do you think? And so ORX is always at the top of my list. If someone wants to explore beyond Bitcoin, Ethereum, they want to explore, then there's a few other options, only a few, which can compete, in my opinion, with Ouroboros as an early stage, first cycle, high potential for scale, adoption, and surviving and thriving 6, 7, 8 years down the line. Like Aave, it feels like, I mean, it's very different protocol than Aave, but it's similar in that it's in the borrowing and lending, banking on the blockchain space. And, Aave started as this protocol called ETH-Lend. And the dev, now he ended up having a team. He did. But when I first saw him talking about, I think he had a partner, so he wasn't a solo operation. He was the spokesperson, but he was also the dev. I think it was a dev team. I'm not sure. But I remember hearing him talk about ETH-Lend. I was like, wow. I forgot his name. I wish I could remember his name. He's really smart, really thoughtful. I was like, wow, this guy, he's so smart and so smooth and so committed to their mission and doing this, what they called ETH-Lend, borrowing, lending against your Ethereum, right? I was like, yes, it's like a home equity line. You can use your appreciating asset. You don't have to sell it. You use it and you manage it. I've always liked that idea. Some people don't like debt. I don't like debt to others. I like managing like my own asset on chain if I can. And so Ouroboros gives me that opportunity. So I don't see, honestly, as a potential blue chip first stage DeFi protocol. I'm sure they're out there, but I haven't seen them. So bring them on. If you know something like, I don't know, something that's a DeFi protocol that's like a first cycle protocol platform that's like an all-in-one DeFi platform that Ouroboros is going to be, I'd love to see it, because that's what I've wanted for a long time, like my cosmic banking on the blockchain, right? Eventually, we're all going to need privacy protections and easier wallet use and privacy and wallets and safety and security. Like when we can get there, that's when scale happens for regular people, right? Right now, it is the Wild West, and so only people like me and others, in the DeFi jungle. That's why someone today was a tattoo artist was, dialoguing with me today. I think he was a PTGC lover. Yeah, PTGC, Pulsex. He was really interested in ORX. Wanted to know if he could buy ORX on Pulsechain. I was like, you could, but too much. No, like you really at this point, ORX you buy on Pulse on Ethereum, or as I said, you can buy USDX and then stake it to farm ORX tokens. So yeah, I'm a huge fanboy, fanboy of ORX. And meanwhile, this is about the Eros plan, right? And so what I've decided is I'm going to be consistently streaming, and these are the two things I'm going to focus on. One is TitanX on Pulsechain with the Eros plan. That's one. I just decided I'm not abandoning anything. I'm like using my assets, our assets, bridging some, keeping most on Ethereum, bridging to Pulsechain and pairing in pairs that I like, right? And that partially I already have, and partially I'm just buying little bits. Buying little bits at these local bottoms when buying little bits. And that's what I've been doing, buying little bits of Eros and buying little bits of Bear and buying little bits of Pulse and buying little bits of PDI. And you know, I don't get into the meta narratives. I know what I like, and I know what I've been successful with, and I know what has hit or is hitting bottoms. And so that's my strategy personally. And this is an experiment because I want to be able to stream both to X, Twitter, and to YouTube at the same time. And I'm hoping if anybody can post a comment or see comments on stage, maybe I should try that. Can someone let me know that they're hearing this on X or on YouTube or something? Because I see that there's like 16 people watching or something. I don't know if that's true. Anyway, I can't see comments. Live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Tap on comment to show it on a screen. Okay. I'm no streamer, man. I'm an artist, I'm a teacher, and I'm a father. You know, I've been a lot of different things, but right now, and I'm a crypto, I'm an on-chain entrepreneur, right? I'm not I'm not building projects, but I do adopt them, the ones I really love, and I study them and I adopt them, and at some point I invest my money in them, right? And then once I invest my money in them, then I like to work for my bags. And so this is a call out to anybody who, like in Ouroboros, that product and how Shadowy does it and how he communicates with the world and his connections and insight and experience and brilliance, that's like a visionary, strategic dev entrepreneur from heaven for us, first of all. And so really thank you to the crypto universe for delivering Shadowy to us. Seriously. Right. It's a unique experience. And yeah, that kind of even a not, and I mean, that kind of leadership is rare, and ability to solo dev and entrepreneur is so rare. So his expertise is world class. And that has just started. And I'm really excited to be learning because I have to learn before I can teach. I mean, part of the reason why I like to teach early in my learning process, actually, I've been studying crypto for like 8 years now. So now I can start teaching it. I mean, I've been teaching privately. Now I feel like I can start teaching more publicly. And it's not that I'm right. It's just that I've learned and I just share my experience. And I encourage people to do it I own way, not my way, you way. I don't like to say you, or it's more like I, which is the Rasta way, which is it's I, there's a identity, and it's connected with everything, right? This idea of like I is all one, which is every wisdom tradition ends with that idea. So yeah, all right. I wish I knew. This is 30 minutes. That's probably enough. I'm going to do shorter and shorter ones. I wish I could have a dialogue. I wish I could see. I think I can only see comments. I'm on my phone now. I think I can only see it probably on my computer or something, which I don't like, man. I like to be out in nature when I can, doing my thing. It makes me happy. Like this is one of my offices, right? This is where I work. All right. I have nothing else to say. Peace out.